Finally, the first movie into the MCU Phase 4 is hitting theaters and Disney Plus on July 9th, 2021. It has been a long time since we saw the first trailer for the film and we finally got it. Here is my review for Marvel Studios' Black Widow. This movie was given multiple release dates starting from May 2020 and it finally lands at July 2021 release slot. That's more than 14 months of delayed duration. We had to wait a lot for this film. But was the wait really worth it? I don't think so. That doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It is a solid addition to the MCU, but I expected more. The movie has a hell lot of great things in it and also a few bad things. So this review is gonna be a mixed bag. Let's start from the best things. As always, this time the best thing is the acting aspect of the film. I had always thought that after I watched Black Widow, I would be loving its action aspect the most, but it turned out that the acting aspect is phenomenal. It is one of the most well-acted MCU movies. Who gives the best performance anyways? It is definitely Florence Pugh who steals every scene that she is in. She is just amazing in this movie. From her dialogue delivery to her action moments, from her facial expressions to her devotion towards the character, she is perfect. She easily outshines Scarlett Johansson. It is Yelena Bolavo's movie, and that feels weird since it had to be Natasha Romanoff's movie. Having a supporting character steal the spotlight from your lead character in almost every moment that they are together is definitely not one of the better aspects of the film. Hell, Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff is not even in second position in terms of the best characters of the film. David Harbour's Red Guardian is also as good as Yelena Belova. He carries a lot of emotional weight of the film. Both had David Harbour and Florence Pugh outshine Natasha Romanoff in Scarlett's own movie, and this becomes weirder by the fact that we are getting a Black Widow movie after so many years of constantly demanding the movie. They even killed the character before giving her a solo movie. We all know the fate of Black Widow in Endgame, and maybe that's why I didn't enjoy Ned's character in this movie as compared to the Red Guardian or Yelena Boleva. But this just feels like a cash grab move from Marvel Studios by making a prequel film about a dead character and introducing new characters who might return in the future of the MCU. As for the Natasha Romanoff, she's great, but as I said, she just feels to be outshined. All these three characters are great. However, Rachel Weisz's character of Melina Vostokov doesn't impress me. She rarely has a good line to speak and her action scenes didn't really interest me. She is by far the weakest character out of the four family members. However, that doesn't mean Rachel Weisz didn't deliver a good performance. She did what she was told to and it was all good, but the character development could have had been better. As for the weakest character in the entire film, it is definitely Taskmaster. Taskmaster is another extremely forgettable MCU villain. That villain had such an amazing potential, but as it turns out, that the villain sucks. He was so forgettable that I didn't even think about him while making points for this review. At the end, when I realized that the movie actually had a villain, moving towards the story of the movie does tell us a great story. I was really impressed with what they were trying to tell. I just wish it could have had been well executed. It aims for intense levels of storytelling and fails to pace it out well. Yes, my problem is with the pacing and the plot execution and not with the plot itself. The plot is amazing, but its execution isn't. It has some really great surprises in it and nice twists and turns that really shocked me. It just could have had been better if the execution would have had been better. The first act was a nice little introduction to the characters in Black Widow's past life. The second act bored me as it had a lot of talking and not a lot of good action. The third act had a weird action sequence with bad visual effects. It just felt unreal. The overall action in the film is still pretty good, but it does not feel unique. The one action scene which does feel unique is the third act final fight where Natasha jumps off in the air, and it is unique in a bad way. They tried to aim big, but it ended up not working so well. The visual effects were not good, and it all felt a bit too much for a character like Black Widow. All the action scenes with Yelena Belova were amazing, by the way. Taskmaster, on the other hand, was at least given a few cool action moves during the film. Something that Melina Vostokov didn't even get. I had expected the action in this movie to be big, but it wasn't that big, and when it went big, it felt too big for this movie. So overall, the writing of the movie was also not really good as the characters felt underdeveloped. So overall, it's a mediocre MCU movie. I will give it a 7.1 out of 10. Share your own thoughts in the comment section down below when you watch it. And here is something that I want you to tell. Please subscribe my channel. Most of the views are not from people who haven't subscribed. It will really help me. Please subscribe my channel for early reviews only at Film Villa.